I hope this video finds you well and having a good time. I am having a good time. It's 8:15 in the evening. I just sat down. My daughter is sleeping. I took care of everything. All the prep for tomorrow is done. So yeah, now it's a perfect time to sit down and unwind and record a video about to answer all the questions that you had for me during my 500 subscribers celebration video. And there were a few questions there that I'll be addressing one at a time. And let's do a deal, because I'm spending this time answering the questions. I'll reward myself with a chocolate, a mini chocolate. So let's get started. I have my target, my reward, and we'll take the questions one at a time. So I'll read them. First, congratulations and hope you all the success. I would like to ask you about software developer, why you choose it as your career path, and what is the skills that is needed to develop yourself, since you are a successful example of software developer. First of all, thank you for your kind words, for your comment and so forth. I don't know if I can be considered successful. Everybody has a different definition of success. I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable software developer who knows all the technology, knows everything without checking, without researching, without trying or failing or needing to look for help or something like that. But if your definition of successful developer is that a person who is looking for new challenges, a person who is looking to experiment, try things, don't give up when something is not working, and just keeps going and discovers the way to make it work and enjoy the process, then consider myself as a successful software engineer. So let's get to your question. Why you choose it as your career path, the software developer? So to give you a little bit of a context, initially I started by being, I don't think I mentioned that before, but I used to be a model. So I modeled for a little bit for different companies, and I did enjoy that. I really liked it, but I realized that that was not a long-term thing that I wanted to do. To say that, youth and beauty are subjective and they might not last for the entire life. And what is the career for a model? You can model until 25, 45, 35, I don't know. The perspective back then were like until 40 maximum, and if you were lucky. And what would you do after that? So it was not something that I thought that I'll want to do and then to be discarded. Let's say that it was my view, and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to go into more academic fields. So I wanted to be a teacher and a psychologist. So I went to college. I graduated with a degree of a teacher and also I could have been a psychologist as well. And for a little bit I worked in that field, and I did enjoy that. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it. I liked to spend time with the kids, have fun, develop new things, and see the progress, see when things were clear to kids, when they learn new things, see the learning curve and all that stuff. But put that aside, the needs of any human being is to be able to survive, to have food, to be able to get around. And I mentioned that in previous video, the salary of a teacher, it was such a salary that it would have lasted me only for 3 weeks of public transportation without taking into consideration food or anything like that. So obviously there are other ways to make money when you're a teacher. You tutor, you might take bribes and stuff like that, but I didn't want to go down that path. So while I was in college, I realized that I have that joy and I liked the math field. I liked physics, and I liked stuff related to computers. So I kind of started to lean towards that path, and my husband encouraged me to go into that direction. And long story short, that's the path I went with. The reason I went into that is like, one, because I mentioned I seem to enjoyed that field. Next thing is that software engineering, you are a creator. You don't need much other than your desire and your mind to develop something. So you can create something from just your thoughts and your experience and your research and desire, right? So I really, really like that aspect of creating things. And since I was a child, I liked to do things. I didn't do something else. Most of the time, I was, well, sewing clothes for my dog, or making cards and so on. So I was a crafty person, and I'm still am. And that was something that kind of fulfilled that part, that I can do something, create something. And also it was a field that it challenges you, it forces you to grow, and doesn't allow you to be stagnant. You have to continue to research, you have to continue to learn. So it's a life learning career. And finally, and it's really important aspect as well, is that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, technology is the same. You learn to program, and you program in C#, is either in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, or United States. It doesn't matter. It's the same programming language. The languages are international. So I didn't know where I will be. So that would have been something that doesn't have to be reevaluated. Like, let's say if I would have went into law, when I was to relocate here, I would have had to learn again law here in the United States. So it's an international field, and also it's a well-paid field. Let's say that it matters a lot, right? You want to have the basic needs taken care of. You have to have enough money or finances to maintain yourself, to have food on the table, to have clothes to put on. And at the end of the day, you want to have time to relax as well. Maybe once a year or twice a year to go on vacation. So that field, career path, computer science, it was something that checked all my check boxes, and that's why I decided to go into that path. To follow up with to answer the next question, is that what is the skill that is needed to develop yourself? There's not one skill, there's definitely a lot of skills. And I want to preface this with, there's not such a thing as smart people who get it from they are born to be software engineers and they are smart and talented. There's no such a thing. There's a thing that you either give your best to understand it, you try your best to learn it, to experience it, or you don't. And there's no such a thing that people are dumb or stupid. It's just something that doesn't interest them, and they don't want to give their attention or their energy into that. So if you are a person who doesn't give up, gives everything it wants, it can to get to the point, to the final destination, and doesn't give up on the first challenge, then that's kind of the major skill that you need. Because software engineering, it's a lot of unknowns and a lot of research and a lot of failing most of the time. So there's no such a thing that you know everything from very beginning and you get it right away, right? You have this growing to do. You start with something that you don't know, and you don't know that now, but you will know that as soon as you put the goal to get interested in that and start to research it, start to apply into practice what you discovered, and build on top of that. And before you realize that you have this large skill set that helps you solve problems, right? So basically, long story short, you have to be curious, you have to have initiative, you have to have the grit, drive, and desire, and not be afraid of failure, or not being afraid to look stupid from times to times, even though there is no such a thing as being stupid, right? So I hope that answers your question. And yeah, it took a while to answer that question, so I'll try to answer the following questions faster. Next, congratulations! I really enjoy watching your videos. I especially loved your 2020 Plan with Me video. It was very inspiring for me. I'm sure you will get positive feedback from other YouTubers who actually care about the community. I found your channel when I was having doubt about having a child in the future, while being a software developer myself. You are pulling it off greatly. Maybe it looks like that. My questions are, what do your weekends, evenings look like? Are you able to find some time getting better at interviewing, improving yourself outside work hours? So, since becoming parents, our time, it's basically not our time anymore. There's a lot of things that you have to do to take care of a child, to take care of a family, and especially if you work full time, that's a lot of things that you have to do. So normally, you just have to be patient and be realistic and not having a lot of plans to do, because at the end of the day, you plan everything at the beginning of the day, and when you get to the end of the day and you realize that you didn't do any progress on them, day after day, you get discouraged. So just don't have a lot of huge plans and try to do the best you can. So definitely planning a few things that what will make that day the most effective. And obviously you have a lot of things to do. So what I do is that once in a while, maybe once a week or twice a week, because everything changes constantly, I do a brain dump, or at least I'm trying. And then from all of that things, the brain dump is basically everything that I have on my mind, everything that I want to do. And I go down that list and answer that in the order of no, because I don't want to do that. And by saying no to that, I free up my time for something that is more valuable. Then I say maybe later. So I put that in a different bucket. Yes, but somebody else might do it, so I will delegate that, and definitely I will do it. So when I have that sorted out and see where it is, what I start to work on those things that actually will make the highest impact and will make me feel at the end of the day that I accomplished something, that day was fulfilled somehow, right? And what do my weekends and evenings look like? Because I have a lot of things that I want to do, I schedule them throughout the week, and some days, some evenings I have that I will study something, or I'll research something, or I'll edit videos. But I also have days where I will just do nothing, days where I recharge my batteries and just do something that I enjoy. I will craft something, like I will maybe make a t-shirt, or I'll design a t-shirt, or I will work on my passion project, such as my planner, or I'll just read a book, and it's probably a fiction book or something like that, and just enjoy that. Having times that will help me regain that desire to move on into the projects that take a long time to complete, and have that feeling that and the energy to continue and not give up. So weekends, it's kind of the same, right? Just get the things down, get them down around the house and stuff like that. Maybe I will probably do a video in the near future to kind of describe how my weekends and evenings are. That way probably it will be better representation than me trying to explain what it is. But yeah, I will probably do a video. And are you able to find some time getting better at interviewing, improving yourself outside of work hours? That's really hard. I usually try to schedule something, at least something once a week. So at least in the worst case scenarios, have at least half an hour a week to do something. And in the good weeks, I'll have 2 hours that I schedule throughout the week on learning something, and it will be probably solving an algorithm or trying to understand something. Like this week, I had scheduled that I want to get better at UML. So that's what I'm planning to focus my time this week. So I'm trying to schedule that. And obviously, there are weeks when things you can plan as much as you want, but nothing happens if you don't have a system. So you definitely have to have a system. And I'm trying different systems. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So yeah, it's just a work in progress. I see what works and what doesn't work. And there are times when actually, even if there is a system, but if things happen, you just have to let it go. Like, our family was sick for a week. Obviously, I didn't do anything on that regard. So in that case, the priority is to get healthy, right? So just being realistic, having plans, having systems, but at the same time, at the end of the day, being realistic. Okay, so next question. Congratulations, I love your videos. Your video inspires me a lot. I do have a question. I'm a data analyst in a small health company. I have been working at this company for almost 6 months. I have very little work and I'm the only person who could write code in my team. I have communicated with my boss 4 times about my work. When we talked, she told me that she was very busy and promised that she will give me some projects. However, she didn't. I asked my colleagues if I could help them, but then their job are not relevant to data analysis. I felt very anxious. I wonder if I could consider changing my job. First of all, I hear you, and it's definitely, I understand that it might be worrisome and you feel anxious, and that is a very good thing that you know how you're feeling and what you're feeling. So just try to calm down, and I will tell you that you're doing the right thing. You talked with your manager about your work, about your concerns, and actually you went to the extent of actually trying to see if you can help your colleagues, which is definitely something that you should do. I don't know in what condition you talked with your manager, but the recommendation there will be to check her schedule and see when she's not busy, when she's not rushing to a different meeting or has a deadline that she has to focus on and she's mentally not there. And when you find that spot when she's available, sit down and talk with her and say, okay, you will give me a project. When should I follow up with you? What should I expect? So make sure that you kind of have certain expectations put into place and make sure that you're following up. Regardless of that, you should definitely look up what is in the industry and continue interviewing, because even if you're not going to look for a different job or switch jobs, you're not planning to move to a different job or start something else, interviewing is a good thing because it keeps you sharp and it keeps you informed about what is happening in the market. So if there's a need, you will be able to find a job way faster and quicker and with a better opportunity. So hopefully everything works out well. Okay. And definitely I'm not the career coach or something like that, so that's just my advice. Definitely take everything with a grain of salt. That's just what I would do. Okay, next question. My question. You told once in your videos about how hard life you faced, especially about education time. And in your New Year resolution, you said that you will manage to help someone in education. What is your ideology that keeps you motivated? This is a tough question to answer, and I'll try to. So, just to give you a little bit of context. Don't get me wrong, I grew up and having food all the time. I never starved or anything like that. I grew up and I didn't have food or anything like that. But I definitely didn't grow up in a rich family. It was times when I could not pay for school or books or to actually buy clothes. I actually had a lot of secondhand clothes, or actually was wearing my brother's clothes because we could not afford to buy clothes, but that definitely is not the worst that it can be. There are a lot of people on this planet who don't have something to eat. They have it much worse than me. But what I wanted to do is that I know that I was in that situation where I wanted to study, I wanted to become somebody, I wanted to grow and be useful. And I was not able to go and study because I could not pay for that. And that is not fair. If somebody wants to study and if somebody wants to accomplish something, they at least should have that opportunity to try to learn new things. And I don't know, I can't put it into words. I wanted to say that there is a saying about this, that I want to help, I want to give. It's not because I have too much, it's because I know how it is when you don't have it. And definitely, if there are people who have the desire and they want to study and they want to learn and they want to get out of the situation that they are, but they don't have the financial means to go and study, I definitely want to be able to help somebody. And one of the reasons I want to do that is because I know how it is, and at the same time because I was lucky and somebody actually believed and helped me when I needed. So I just want to give it back to the community, and hopefully I can do that. And I'll have to think how to do it, how to accomplish it. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. It's just, I don't know, I cannot express the feelings that I have regarding this topic. And I thought a lot about it, and I just don't know how to do it yet. But it's a great question. Thank you for asking it. And the last question, and it's a funny one. Congratulations on making this milestone. I really appreciate the videos you upload. You have a very calm voice that eases my mind. Really? Never thought that my voice is calming, but okay. Everybody has their own tunes that they like, right? So my question for you is, are you married? Really? If you're asking this, either do you watch my other videos or I don't talk enough about my family. So the answer, yes, it is. Yes, I'm married, happily married, and I've been married for a very long time, and I'm planning to stay married for the rest of my life. And if not, want to move to Norway? So I answered that yes, I'm married, and I would love to visit Norway, not move there. And yeah, well, I don't know. I think I answered that question. I'm married and happily married, and actually tomorrow we are going to celebrate an anniversary. So yeah. So hopefully there was some valuable information in this video. Maybe the answers that you expected were way different. You probably expected that I have all figured out, all sorted out, and I have all the answers, and I'm some sort of guru or something like that. And trust me, I'm not. I'm a regular human being like anybody else. And there are things that I know because I experienced them, or I noticed certain patterns and I applied them or something like that, right? It's definitely, I don't have the answers. Definitely I don't know everything, and I'm exploring things, I'm experiencing them as anybody else, and failing in some certain places and succeeding in others. So it's just, yeah, it's called life, and I'm trying to do my best I can with the resources that I have and the time I have and the abilities I have. So hopefully you found something that was of use to you, and definitely if you have any other questions that you would like me to answer, feel free to drop them off in the comment section below, and I'll answer them in the foreseeable future. And as always, have a wonderful time whatever you're doing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. But wait, we forgot about my reward for answering these hard questions. Well, they were not that hard, but yeah, here's my reward. I really like chocolate by this company, Kinder, and they're actually my favorite Kinder product is Kinder Penguin. And actually, in the United States, it's really hard to find Kinder Penguin. Actually, it's not hard. It's practically there are no stores where you can find it. And I usually order it from Germany, and there's an online store that I order from Germany. And I ordered 3 boxes last time, and I ate it in a week. I was worried that it will go. It will. I won't eat it in time because it has to be refrigerated. But I actually ate it way faster than I thought. So here's a tiny Kinder for me. Hopefully you're having something good for you as well. So, yep, enjoy. Now, bye bye for sure.